Hey everybody, this is Alexandrake, and once again we're playing the Letter. Last time, our dear old boy Satri is trying to piece things together, find out more about the spirit, that the spirit is hunting them down to add Twitchy. Well, it's a very hit and run sort of scenario, I believe, and I do not want anything to happen to my boy Satri. I love him, he's just amazing, and I don't know if I can leave for myself if anything does happen to him due to my foolish mistakes. Apart from that, let's continue and see where the story delves into. Was it dive? Doesn't matter. Night falls, and despite my best attempts, sheep continues to elude me. With our image still stuck in my head, flashing every moment, it touches me off guard, with Mars by still echoing in my ear, no on yonder, the soft tune it once was. And the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach. It's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off, even for a little while. It is not as if there's a complete yet of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2 to 3 in the morning, I find myself keen in my photography treatment for no other reason, just to pass the time. Ooh. Though if I am going to be honest, it's not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety that hope will hear from Ash soon. And what happens the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end of the table where my phone lies still. I have not heard from him since he left. He hasn't promised at all, of course, but the small pine wishes that he would have the common sense at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and with the sun stretching out the minutes far yonder than usual, it is impossible for more unpleasant thoughts to not enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3, my hand still. Here we go. I'll be competing at the eye to say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat in that brief second. My body was done, motionless, ears strained for any further sounds. And the pretense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, how old the building I'm staying in, power fluctuations aren't anything new. Every now and then this would have happened, even a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years living here. This time the sudden hush brings with its stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck and set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and an instant this place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fibre in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow, keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and bring together the rest of my things scattered around the table. The timer's body against, filters, diffuser, phone, anything my hand could reach, but in the resultant panic, I in a nightmare. It is the scent that reaches me first, the foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with heavy stink of death. My fingers clamped tightly to the timer, holding it closely to my body as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection of whatever it is for me in the room. It won't, but it's the only comfort I have, and knowing that whoever she is, she had once been here. Perhaps not all of it is done. Perhaps some of it's still there.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
7 moves behind me, a soft stuttering over the walls, followed by the squelch and painful trickling of what to me only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers and time was ready, patiently waiting for another moment.
I can help you.
Oh, Satri.
Whatever it is that keeps you here, I can help. That's what the letter's for, ain't it? You don't have to keep taking people's lives.
There's a brief moment of silence after, and for a short while, I think my piece works. With no warning, the shuffling resumes, and I yawn with the sobs of a woman. Use the mouse to lead around, press spacebar to take a picture. Oh. Oh! The lights flashed sweetly at one last time. The only glimpse of our Judas hyping features before we once again lost in darkness. All of a sudden her tune changes. No yonder soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees from my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand dripping the knob, and I'm wrenching the door open. Her wails for me as I flee into the night. Painting has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I faint, I sit, and yet the minutes tick by until an idea comes to mind, or my pulse settles down. Yet dry leaves and twigs trapped under my shoes as I make never pass them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. There's no way in hell I'm knowing that. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
Oh, Satori! Nearly 2 years have gone by since I left the comfort in my room. You've been on the phone for 2 hours? Oh my god, man. For the solitude of the park. It's 3 hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even better, who's always kept their phone line open in case of other people need her. It does not help that Ash hasn't said a word where he went off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
No one here can be anywhere. But there's really only one place he'll like to be at this time. Sun has already peaked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I get there. There's Ashton, first and foremost. Part in which my assumptions are correct, and he's really somewhere close by on a state out. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of guessing. And even after I made a round of immediate vicinity, I could find neither hide nor hair of him. To him does no good, even seeing how awful the signal was here. He don't be too far, even if he's already here, but if he is, he would have already noticed me by now. It said there's only science. The time too tired to find any sort of comfort in. Even the trees seem to have fallen asleep with the rest of the mansion, oblivious to what's happening around it. A small isle of stillness in the otherwise fast-paced world. No wonder the whole Asian feels at odds with the rest of the Uxborough. While the rest of the city's yard, drawn every minute, breathing every second and pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving, unchanged. It's not surprising the Yetons are still up to this day, and while she's still here, walking his horrid halls, and beyond me, the mansion looms ominously. But now ain't the time for fear. Even if Ash is not here, I've still got to get the right to know that I've seen what's in their home. Whatever dreams Ash has with them, doesn't matter. They might be drowned for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. I'm sure Isabella would want the same thing. Head straight for the door without second thought. Chased through rain to sound a yawn above the foreboding stillness before I heard footsteps on the other side.
God and get it! Only a Nazi would knock at such an ungodly hour. Where's that damn butler when I need him?
Ah, Drace! This little adorable angel. For yon, the door swings widely open with Mr. Ute Wright stand behind it. Stephen would be in complete understatement to describe him. The idea is I got no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
You? How the hell did you get in here? What in 7 hells do you want? It's bloody
7.
6 in the morning!
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time. Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't. Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
For I know the wording, slams the door to my face and bolts it shut with much finality.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only science answers me. Maybe it was Mrs. Wright. Oh, my tin. There are limits to how far a person will believe in you. And then I don't believe Isabella when she warned us. And now I'm here, desperately trying to save people even if I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? If so, this is one horrible way of turning things around. Take people's drives, playing with people's fears, make them feel useless.
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do? What did they do to you? I can help you, you know? If it'll let you move on, I'll gladly do so.
Oh, Satori! I love you, man. I hope this works for you, but frankly, I don't know if you're causing more trouble for yourself.
You don't have to kill anyone.
Nothing. I don't even know who I'm drawn to or if a sane person is supposed to be doing that. The only thing I know after is a feeling of foolishness washing over me. Or perhaps this is just me using my mind. Out of all the options and the other ideas, I get my hands slide off the door surface and fall instantly to my sides. And go back to the spawn. Try to find the others. Trying to get out of this mess with them. Or let them know how much in deep shit we are all in. Both sounds dead. Either way, I'm yours in here. Ain't helping at all. I let the quietness calm me for a for more minutes before standing up and heading out to fetch my bite. Oh, he did bite it, okay. It's quite a distance to that one, but if I hurry, I'll reach it in maybe... The rustling stops as I turn around and strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. If he is here, and I've just missed him earlier, already my feet are moving in search for him for a second time. It won't hurt to double check. Triple check even. With how big the property is, he can be anywhere. If things aren't so urgent, if they aren't so dire that the eye is so out of state, I probably have just waited for him to show up again.
But damn it! He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
Oh, sorry. That is not just a petty criminal he can simply throw in jail. This is something beyond the authority his peace spirits should ever give him. The guy needs to stop playing the big damn hero, sit down and chill. I reamed him a short, shallow rasp by the time I made it back to where I started. Still no sign of it, I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting my time here. But that is when I hear it. I recognize the melody of my heartbeat. Ma's favourite song. Oh no. I listened for a while trying to gauge where exactly from the house it's coming from. My feet start moving before I can stop them. And there, as I start around the corner, from room in the first floor, a single window is open, but I can't make out whoever's inside. I'm sure the sound comes from there. Still, while I'll hear an odd tune here of all places I won't know. It's not obvious. It's not a mysterious song by all means, but it's pretty rare to find someone who knows this. And for some reason, death seems to follow this song around. Panic yells itself at the base of my throat once. Whoever's home might be, I don't want to be pessimistic now, but on the off chance that this is Miss Right.
Shit.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I can put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Ash would tell me so in the sad words. Might even write me a dissertation on why it's a bad idea if it ain't so easy. But damn it, damn it, damn it, god damn it! Someone to be in danger. Oh god, I'm in the window. And so fast, but if he's too late by then. Oh, what did I do? Nothing new here. Yeah. With how big this place is, he can be anywhere, and it's very likely by the time we turn back, someone's already bit the dust. That and the tries to react into my ears, the yonder eye yonder. Almost impossible to ignore, drawing me in like a moth to a flame. For a moment, I let myself shudder, shaking the uneasy feeling of my head. This time I did idea, but not by onshot. Still, I got to try. Fine enough for a temple as high profile as right, they don't seem to have any security detail patrolling around. A few darts here and there, sure, but no one will be a spec they'll have more considering the size of this place. Words to my advantage though, and I really tend to play when there's a high chance I might get arrested for what I'm about to do. Yeah, that's a fair point. But I don't know, it felt more like the sat option to choose. Him actually wanting to help. I don't know. The other window was wide enough for me to fit through without making any noise. There's certainly no going back now. But as soon as I step in the power, all of it ceased. Why, I find no trace of the woman I heard trying, yet I'm expecting to. The room is still empty at the time of the morning. I have to stand orderly in the middle of the hush. Maybe she just hid somewhere.
Hello? Are you here? I heard someone earlier, and I'm here to help.
Home for an answer, I let the question hang in the air. But so settles me do by without a word or the slightest movement to indicate there is someone in here. Has been here. With the stories I've heard, the things I've seen, it takes effort to keep my brain from going to that Yana thought.
I'm not going to hurt you. If you're here, say something.
Nothing. Am I just hearing things? No, I'm pretty sure I heard someone. But if no one responded, I can't help but feel silly like this. And the awareness I've just trespassed the house for nothing because of some voice prickles at me. Suddenly the science feels entitled, and needing anxiety slowly creeps up my back. I should get out while I can, but if it ain't there, it ain't there. I don't spare the room another chance when I walk back the way I came. Only to the window Eve before someone else
I
notices.
thought I heard a servant moving around here. Turns out it's just a rat scurrying about.
Ah, Johannes.
How unpleasant.
My heart shoots up into my throat. I had to run, the window was a few steps away. I should be able to escape. But instead, out of some foolish impulse, I turn around. Perhaps it's because the only impression the die has left in me, what few times we've met, is nothing but unsettling.
This ain't what you think it is.
You're quite the distance from the kitchen, I'm afraid. Perhaps I should lead you there.
Someone's in here before me. I wasn't here for what you're thinking. There was sobbing and...
Oh god, the first blow knocks the wind out of me, sending me heaving from to my knees. Ah, what have I done? Tears well up in my eyes as pain swells when he twists my wrist behind my
You've
back.
gotta listen to me.
Then again, dirty thieves aren't welcome in my kitchen either.
For a moment, there's only silence, a sudden piercing ache this time at the back of my head. The room abruptly tilts on the axis, dimming. On the third of consciousness, I can hear the suffering afoot, the thud of the door being closed, and a woman trying, asking for help. Oh, is this you back to Hannah? Interesting. I know no more. Oh, trap, where am I? The pain is the worst when I come to a sharp piercing ache somewhere at the back of my head, begging to be noticed. But it's nothing I can't handle. Barely open my eyes, expecting to be greeted by sunlight. Ah. How the walls that welcome me are unfamiliar. When everything turns to photos, I recognize the place for what it is. A cell. Dark tramp with only light coming from the moon outside, streaming through the sole window barred by thick metal bars. Memory rushes back to me in a sharp burst, imagining for Aston a familiar tune, a woman trying. All on my head still aches from the hit, obviously. God, Johannes must be a tough hitter.
Still better than a morgue, I guess.
Gingerly I pulled myself up, stretching the tramps from my shoulders as I do so, but stopping when a sudden movement induces an acute stinging pain right through my arm.
Damn, they got me good. What time is it?
As unsuspected, they've taken everything I have on person, wallet, cell phone, my teas, meds, even a small pad of gum. Protocol is protocol. In the first place, ending back in another cell ain't my agenda. First time was not present experience, and this certainly won't be either. Seeing who was likely to put me in here, it'd be much worse. The bars are too to touch when I approach it, using for the person on duty. They use the hours to contact someone, and Aston at least has to know I'm here. He'll be pissed, and I'm quite sure of it, but he's the only one who can help prove my innocence and test me out. How much I don't want to rely on him for this. The hallway in front of my cell is empty, but voices float through from further in. The idea to put officer assigned to the 8th night duty. Judging from the snippets of conversation attached, today's topic over snapped is that moron who thought it wise to trust the rights. They use other names too, most of which I like to have words with them about in the future. But really, I'm in no position right now.
Excuse me. Anyone?
Science.
Excuse me. I need to make a...
Oh damn! Blood freezes in my vein and my drip on the bar tightens as the revolting scent reaches my nose. More than the door, the foul smell of death hangs heavy in the air. And ends my better judgment, I turn. Oh god, her face is the first thing I see. A gruesome sight of his own, eyes deeming with nothing but malice. Blood oozing from the hard punctured wounds on her head, mouth open wide in a voiceless stream. I champ on the compulsion to reach. On an instant, I step back and put in as much distance as this tramp cell yard between us. The bars rattled as soon as my shoulders hit it. A hindrance not to freedom, but to safety.
You've got to stop this! We can't help you this way!
She moves in short, sudden bone-crunching twitches. And I know there's no escape. I'm screaming for help before I know it's choking bars as much force as I can.
Somebody! Get me out of here! Anyone, please!
Bugger off! Some people are trying to get some sleep here!
No! She's here! You've got to let me out! She's gonna kill me! Someone! She's...
Oh, you poor dear. You've unlocked a memory fragment. What? Maria? No. But... Is Slattery fine? Slattery? You fine? Oh, damn. Wait, so that... scene... If that was the dose woman, then... I guess perhaps she was... Oh, I guess she was assaulted in specific ways, so to speak. For her, but... I'm paying this... Oh, my God. Interesting. I'm intrigued. Deeply intrigued. So, I'm guessing I'm halfway through the game now. Okay. Numbers are so huge on the top of my screen, and they jeer at me with such intensity that I can just hear the demotion. I know. I'm yanked for the night out with the Dells, yes, but I've perfectly did excuse. Jeez. Soon I don't fall typical office hours. They really can't expect me to be able to just do as I please at 5:30 on the dot. China's first and foremost my priority. I have to sit tight when my personal assistant Tris tells me we have a big one coming up, and I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on who's who and the what's what when it comes to these societies, and I trust the judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people with the drama and their politics. This sort who were born with the silver spoons in their mouth and those who are used to wagging their silver tongues about. I had them handle the negotiation with them for the most part. Why else would I have been hired? Him? But he told me I received the message about an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know, to an extent. Sort of. Press my head against the table, I try to stave off an uncommon headache when the notification for an email pops up. I'm expecting it as a, hey, this looks like a good project I found. Do send them as a sign, or something like that, really. That's how often it goes. Even these rich, jammy giants who've heard of me from their equity rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. It's all well and good and reasonable. We figure out what they want and send them my portfolio, my drafts for the projects, my rates, my hopes for the best. This is a bit kind, Marianne. I'll babysit portfolio for you. Just please take this one project. I promise this person is huge in Yachtburn. Mr. Potter, this is a formal request to assure the service of Marianne Motorhe here and after toward the designer. As authorized by Hannah Wright, here and after toward the client for interior design work at Emmerdale Mansion, Yachtburn, OX 18ORF, United Kingdom. Oh, it is United Kingdom. Oh, I did not realise that. Was that always established? Sure. Okay, Spook Fiends in the UK. Marvellous. The client hopes to have the signer there on the 21st of October, Friday, with this time pending. But as I open their mail, I see what had been requested by the client specifically. Well, I certainly didn't expect that. It's pretty straightforward, too. Anyone else would probably be excited. This would be working with the Hannah Wright. Since she's just one of those rich societies that nobody loves to talk about. Oh, socialites. That's the word, socialites. That everyone loves to talk about no matter how hard I try to tune such nonsense out. It would have been enough for me to repay an affirmative to Tris and Eve, but he has never pleaded for me to take the project before. We worked with big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, and even a few politicians. My PA had been indifferent about those. So the questions bounced about my style before I spy on the email's attachments. A newspaper given from the Yachtburn Day Businesses news section. Boost and headlines. Wright Enterprise donates 2.5 million to refugees. Certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently they invented the businessman and socialites everywhere. In the days of it being some big business announcement.
2.5 mil and an expensive looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Not that I should be so towers. They don't do a yacht good and help the community of people with all these pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such art whenever they were shown or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at the picture that came me on with the tipping. Because wow, Here I am, spending a soured old woman in the Gazer instead. But that woman was pasted on the front page, which actually beyond the front page with an entertainment section. Or even, if I am to be crass, as a pin-up for a Diama. For Diama, oh, okay, I'll read here, Med's Madison. She knows how to rock that dress. Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips, she can't be her. At the same time, she is her, only several years older. What? Oh, so I don't think Sadie was at the party. Ew. See, it's just right. No, come on, Matt. That world is full of pretty bronze. It's just a coincidence. Who is this person? What do you mean? With a shade of my head, I snap out of it and reach out for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I said. Yet I still don't move from my chair, face fierce and heart racing. I should only stare until I can will myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more from the time for me to just choose the image, shut down the computer and leave. Even then, it's already burned its image in my head, no matter how much I wish it would just disappear. It makes me either for alcohol and company. It makes me either for anything that can help me forget. There's a dead thing at the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. Wait, so you saw Hannah as someone else? Who? Tell me. I need the gossip. Now! The Doorway Show, as it was told by those who frequent in this place, is the only decent Irish pub in this county. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they tour it by its official name, the Troll Bar. My home away from home ever since I moved to Yutspawn. Wait, is Yutspawn an actual UK city? If so, that sounded funny, because I have never heard of it before. Well, that is when I'm not tubed up on my condo and working away. It has good alcohol, good company, and thank God and Saints Syria a good music. Crowd favours guide, but we know is the High Wesleyan Man and the Saturn Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love the singing. And it would just break out into a dream song, others in the pub were just wonderful that they start singing. Ah, perfect. And in so one tossing is the best way to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the tourist and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. As night is karaoke night. Or bedtime than try and sing all my worries away. That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am. And in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
But, I wanted to continue. But Drainton only reminds me of my home and the thought of home that makes me think of her.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
She's not drunk enough to sing this. She doesn't sound drunk enough, but I'll allow it. Makes me nauseous, stretches me to the smallest reminder of her and taught me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Is this to a side to Mariana? Toss, that might just be the booze. Any other day I would have stolen myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I already have a client who will be having a first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you.
Ayeta.
'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow and return to being prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride-to-be. So give her hand, Galway shawl.
Interesting perspective. Similar state I'm in, I'm wanting to snooze my smut grin as tears of pure raised among the pub patrons. Because possibly off the tea pub yet seen aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as to any to bolt out in front of these strangers. Without the drinks and good friends, there's nothing else I'd rather be tonight. And I've forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good. You rock, Marianne.
Some of the voices are
Oh,
similar.
please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh? Read 'em and wait, bitches.
Tamaya's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for all the world to see. She has reason to be proud. 3 years you've endeavor, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am. But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
I told us if 79 Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'll be there for Tam. Just as Tam has been there for me, and more than just my Yoda instructor, I can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers! Cheers.
Well, we both will be there for Tam, won't we? Haruna and I. It has been a really bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even you owed me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. I'm happy she's mine then, and pitying out as she used to. I think we all miss her Japanese firetratter. Aww. We met in Yoda Chas, something I had joined to keep myself in shape, and well, honestly, so that I actually made friends when I moved to Yatsburn. She worked out as a charm. And definitely have anything to do with the fact that I brought a my Yeti D20 die with me on the first day, no sir. Is Marianne a D&D player? If so, I might have found my second favourite character in this name. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man. And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Oh, come on. That's a lame excuse and you know it. You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now. Maybe some hunk who'll be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Fair.
Hey, look at me. I'm Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
She is a D&D player. Yeah, she may be my second favourite. She is my second favourite character now. I mentioned druids and demons once. Oh, so that's what they're doing it? Sure, whatever. Once, I don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I'm far tried from a miracle worker. I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right.
Ooh.
Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things. Howdy now, you don't have a ring anymore. Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone. What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the other they tense until the other people in the pub start to watch. Doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulder and needs
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
I know they're just chilling around, but this doesn't make me uncomfortable in the This doesn't make me uncomfortable out of it. So when Tara notices my signs and Hura sees the expression on my face, they stop. And when the altered air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with the massive hangovers, but anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no more need to be said. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually the fun times end. This is a weekday after all. And for Haruna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for that next shift. Diamond also has every fiance waiting for her at home, and Ree didn't have to make a fuss about having some bun in the oven when she took off early. Nah. So I think I wasn't sure if I misunderstood something there. Really, I understood. It was the one who insists he was determined to get pissed around anyway. Room to bar I sit, alone at the house, alone with a stranger. Of course. I haven't seen him here before, obviously not already here. Hasn't said a word, just sits there saving his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and a yaiter on the other, he doesn't seem like he noticed me yet, so maybe I should do before he does get my way. Because it was pretty, and he was beyond. And those two things, besides of all, never did me any good. Oh, I thought too late. Judging, dead away. Just one away his fierce face and the days yet in his eyes, he's as pissed drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like near and over, he is judged he's still ready to take the Tatward by the storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see.
What if I done away with murder? Maybe murder. Yes.
Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
But then I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Fat chance. But it doesn't matter, we both know how to play this game. And there are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. The question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
He he's about to say some witty retort, but he stopped himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. Order mint, he does another whiskey, and then we start he starts the customary small talk. There we go. Toast, the asking me no questions and tell me no lies goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up posters to establish a strenuous fake connection between the two strangers at the pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I have the time to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. Manager of what? I didn't tell you the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he has come to call me, is 29, and I'm... What did I say I was then? Oh yes, I tell him I was a professional chocolate taster, which was futted. If I'm going to lie about what my job is, I might as well make it fun. Sure. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers. Maybe it's just me, or maybe we might as fucking well just spend the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice to, if it was just left at that. But during the yaw and the conversation, it brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
And the feeling might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
Oh, that's cool. Saint Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she was so yutty anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Though not every suitor was dourant, and she was no fool, she had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
So she had taken out a knife and drawn shut her own eyes. Is this an Irish story?
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, Dodd restored her eyes and made them even more beautiful than before. He has a peculiar sense of humour, doesn't he? Just that only men suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in the towers to stare them off.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
Saint Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from sin. Help me from my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here.
I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you. And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream.
Okay.
You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Wow, so he's even more of a cheating and scumbag than I thought he was. That's straight. God, I really should have dumped him immediately. Ah, oh well, it was a flip-a-coin. The best thing about having my Thunder so close to the pub is the ease of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Maybe I need help from a kind neighbour or two to help me with my ass yet if I've really done it bored on the outhole. But always I make it home. Sometimes with company. Towards us always comes with competitions, especially with the really kinny ones. But isn't anything that did tip about strangers to the building security tent fits. I'm always nervous though, even if this isn't the first time I've done this. In the first minutes when we enter my room and the first few agonizing minutes when I try not to panic. Okay, Matt, so far so good. Don't let him smell your fear and all that yet with courage. What is that portrait over there? It's interesting. He'll leave sooner or later, and he'll never have to see me again, just like every other man before him. Well, honey, not this time. I had to say to myself that the man I brought into my place were more scared than I was. Yet there's no fear when I look into the misty eyes, only delight. When he starts touching me, I don't even hesitate when I push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. Oh, okay. And as long as he sticks to the strip, everything will go smoothly. Wherever he'll tumble in the seats, he'll leave. We will forget about it. If someone asked what I really wanted, I would have told him that I wanted a bed of roses, chocolate and music, maybe in an Irish castle. But all I really wanted is her, and that's never going to be in a reality. Who's her you talking about? That was my fault, of course. Because I was afraid. Because I was a coward. So I never heard a hand up to her. She was the light of my life. Did you use someone, Marianne? And I had to let her go. I can't even be bothered at the thought of her. Just the single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through waver.
Wait.
What is it now?
Yes, what is it now? Nothing, never mind, this is Ron. It's Ron.
We're both drunk.
And...
That increased the relationship.
This is wrong. Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had?
Wait, did I... What?
How messed up are we?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Bloody hell.
I just seen the achievement. Amazing. I told she's annoyed at me for putting off our night of sexual tendresse. But no means no. And beyond spewing a few profanities under his breath, his pride simmers down, and soon enough, I was worried for a moment that he might try to force something. Instead, he made a show of fixing his suit, smoothing his down his hair before mating himself tumble on the nearest seat he could find.
What are you doing then? You have a guest in your home. Put the damn kettle on. Dandelion tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
If it isn't for the absurdity of this turn of offence, I would have flipped him off, thinking I have no taste. But in the end, I just yaffed. All I got is a tan of tree and ginseng and the Yemen balm, though no dandelion. If I send forward, I do the tea, and 3 minutes to let the kettle to boil. 3 minutes where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you say to a guy I was going to sleep with until I changed my mind? I know he's in the mood to talk about the influence of Troyes and Rior. It's still unusual by the time we both sit on my bed with mugs of tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh, this whole world is a cesspool.
Dead air is telling me when it fills the room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst, to spill about whatever issues that made us the fucked up person that we are today. And it is. But just some part of me would rather not put the weight of my problems on someone else's shoulders. It wouldn't be fair to leave that to a person when I don't even know if we'll ever see each other again. Well, sooner rather than later we both pass out on my bed, muds yet forgotten on the floor. Huh. Okay. When I wait, whiskey is already done. Thanks for the tea, Mazia. Whiskey. Bottle of pain tears and a note on the table, the only evidence that I wasn't alone last night. I don't even question where these are from, just how he knew my real name. I'm just grateful for something to help with the hangover. Might as well. I have a job to do. Okay. This isn't often that I think about drinking on the job. But after being in the riots yesterday, it really makes me want to break my self-imposed rules. Because first off, fucking down whiskey was fucking down Mr. Right. And to top all of it, they had somehow forgotten to inform me that they didn't owe the Alexandrake mansion yet when they hired me. What sort of person does that?
Ugh, rich people.
I do nothing but twiddle my thumbs at this. However, I twiddle my thumbs and wait for the dough signal. It's not acting a step of a small project, this is a big job and I should be ready to start on it any time. Not to mention that my PA practically begged me to be patient and wait this out. It was hard decision to agree, but I did so in the end. Besides, I'm doing this for the Alexandrake mansion, not for anything to anyone else. I'll have a headache whenever I do anyway. I don't know to pop it down, but seeing what happened a few days ago, I'd rather not end up in bed with another potential child. There might be a huge human yardage, but a library is the next best thing after the pub. Okay, I have to go there anyway. I need more books for Dad. Plus, I also need to return the ones I borrowed last time. Find a new book or two to read for myself while I have nothing to do isn't a bad idea either. So on Saturday morning, I found myself going to the only library in Oxford to hopefully tool off. I returned an Israel and the poetry book by Henry of Brandy. I do apologize for the names. They are new to me. I asked the librarian about the several titles on my list, though I don't have much yet on that front. Died of Death has already been snatched, and she bluntly said that she did not keep our mathematical universe for someone who didn't return the books on time. Ouch. Died of Death, that's interesting. I made headways at least when I asked about Siege and rendition of Harathan by Jacob D. Pezuel. If your talent has snarling and point on a history section as a headway, that is. His assessment is avoid any other said for myself and the red-haired, though I raged at a desk that the Reds just passing by to get to the Chester Yitcher section. So many books, so little time, standard books, and seeing so many wonderful titles gives me great pleasure. And that's when I spotted.
Hello, sailor. Why don't you come to Mama?
Okay. It's not the naval battle book I was yearning for, no, it's even better. Nearly tried History of Urban Architecture for first edition too. I know I just have to get to it, and I've been waiting to get my hands on the book for so long. In fact, there's only one topic proves to be a problem though, when Red reaches out for the same time as I do.
I think I had this first, miss.
Oh! Rose. I only stared down when she refused to get dough of the books. Refusing to get dough as well, I raised a brow at her in hopes that the fact that I was significantly taller than her would intimidate the dough. Even then, she refused with rebellious yet.
This isn't exactly light reading, miss. I mean, do you even know which architect was at the forefront of 18th century Irish architecture?
A beat. She beats and I can't help the smirk on my face, which is wiped off when she opens her mouth.
Edward Lovett Pearce, who established the Palladian style through his work with Castletown House and the Irish Houses of Parliament.
Not a dead Rose.
This bridge was destroyed in this year to delay French troops while under the regency of Mary of Guise.
Actually, now Marianne is sort of below Rose, how I rate it. If I had to rate it. That's how I feel about this so far. Yeah, Ute. Boom. Far bottom. This is not what I was expecting. Let's be honest, how many people would know these history facts? Aside from me, anyway.
Going right to the obscure ones, aren't you? Easy enough. Tullybody Old Bridge in Clackmannanshire, Scotland, on the January of 1560, if we want to be specific.
Sunny is the dame where we throw these history questions and the facts at each other, back and forth, in hushed tones, you just want to be thrown out of the library. It's not fun. After a while, it goes from some strange competition into a strange but friendly banter, if it to be taught that. But as fun as it is, the exchange soon slows down to we're grinning at how odd this whole scene is.
Marianne McCulloch, my desire for potatoes doesn't quite match what the stereotypes suggest.
Rebecca Gales, the Scots' supposed hatred for
Rebecca,
the
not
English
Rose.
wasn't enough to stop me from teaching their little spawns.
I don't know why I said Rose. My brain, I got confused with Red, I guess. My bad. Rebecca. Wait, why was I thinking Rose? Is anyone called Rose in this game? Doesn't matter, regardless. But then we've forgotten about our little tug of war, though she still holds the book in her hand. I had yet to do with it without realizing when she answers my first
History
question.
teacher, then?
Got it in one.
No wonder you gave me a run for my money. Now, if we're talking about architecture, I'd blow you out of the water. You're from where? Luxburn Uni?
Oh no, just St. Goretti's.
Ah yes, Saint Duretti's. You think in the store would choose a more appropriate saint to name themselves after, especially when they have very young students. What is this Saint Duretti? Who is he?
And I'm guessing you're an architect, if you're so confident about the subject.
Interior designer, Miss Gales.
Please, just call me Rebecca. You aren't one of my students, are you?
Marianne, then.
I just said I was the architect, but there's no point in explaining why I wasn't one anymore.
So, I've never seen you before. I'd like to think I've met every history aficionado in town.
I blame the rock I've been hiding under, of course. That, and I'm usually only here on the weekdays if time allows. Work often has me meeting clients on the weekends.
That must be interesting work.
It allows for some creative freedom, sure. But it's like working with children sometimes. Though you probably have it harder working with actual children. The hardest part is convincing them that your idea is their idea.
That sounds exciting.
It is!
But isn't that true for any workplace, though? We just cross our fingers and hope there aren't any man-children in charge of important things. Any big projects right now? I can't imagine that interior designing is a frequent thing.
I'm working on the Ermengarde mansion. Lucky me. That mansion. Intach. Wonderful. Breathtaking. I can't wait to start in it. Now that is beautiful architecture.
A pause. He actually wanted to say something at the mention of the house. I'm not surprised, this place is certainly popular with the Yodas, especially with the urban legends attached to it. In that setting, though, she seems to think better of it and drops what she's about to say.
So, do you have a portfolio or anything I can take a look at? I'd love to see your designs. Maybe you have some on a tablet. I've met some designers before, and they're always going crazy over these virtual room apps or another.
A tablet? Please. Callicrates didn't need those silly iTabs when he built the Parthenon. I certainly don't need one to design a house.
Fair enough. Computer batter my place is all I have. Why should I buy such an expensive gadget that will just get outdated within the year when what I have is just functional? Yeah, fair point. Traditional ways are far more personal touch, in my opinion, not to mention those smartphones are awful tools of procrastination. Yeah. Can't even count on the one hand the number of people I see that are deciding to have their eyes due to for things. And fuck touchscreens, they're evil fiends that make typing what should have been a simple task harder.
I do have an online portfolio, if you'd like. I can...
Speaking of thinking of the devil, seems to have summoned it, because before I didn't even carry on, with Beth's attention wanes as she pulls out her mobile. For what I can assume is a tool she gives me an apologetic yet before she's standing up and excusing herself, or farther to the aisles she stows for some privacy. I do my best to give it to her as well, trying not to tune her out.
Belle, is something wrong? Lunch at the coffee house? Sure, I can make it. I'm not too far, I can be there in 10.
That's quite early on. I think that's in the first episode? No, second episode maybe. But how quiet the surrounding is, she can't blame me for if I overhear snippets of our conversation. When she returns with she was in the face, I know that our friendly chat has to be touched short.
Sorry, I have to go and meet with some friends.
It's fine. Totally fine. No need to even apologize.
That little image of her getting out, it seems sinister. I don't mean to dead sinister vibes from it, but it seems sinister.
About the book.
Her embarrassment treats us twofold when she realizes she's still holding on to the history of Luxembourg architecture. I don't give her time to think about it as I put my hand up and shake my head. Fishing out a pen and paper from my baggie and with one of my business cards, I hand them over to her.
You know, I'm busy with work, so I might not even be able to take a peek at it anytime soon. You can go ahead and have it.
Might just buy the book from it online or something. I know you're not about that, are you? I do.
But you'll have to ring me up when you're returning it just so I can snag it right away. Deal?
She makes a quick word, penning her number down, handing it back to me with a dread.
Deal. Just message me during school hours, of course. You have a good day then.
You too.
It's interesting how these other characters meet alongside each other. How, like, in a weird sense, fate is designed to keep all of them connected. Or to say, for safe into the narrative, but, you know. Anyway, we're about to dawn I have to go and stand in the history section. Although my original plans was simple to sit down and read a good book, a little pop quiz, if you enjoyed that, made time pass by without any of us realizing it. It was fun, I do believe I made a new friend. Good job, Marianne. Even with the tour of Jansfam, I don't feel like grabbing a bite to eat. There are still other books to be read here, and I'm hoping to find something that will help me while I work with the rights. Something like How to Deal with Asshole Professionally 101, just in case. I don't have a lot of uppity and snooty rich chance before, but it's still better to be safe than sorry. Till the youth right just takes the fucking take, and he probably manages to eat it too. There's a whole world is conspiring to me to keep me from me time as my mobile vibrates in my pockets, and the moment I find myself something from the selves of the Castle Ritual section.
Marianne McCulloch, Charlie Rose Design speaking.
Oh!
Rose Cooper here.
That's why I got Rose in my head.
I didn't catch you at a bad time or anything.
Okay, so it wasn't known bad. There was a Rose. Oh my god.
But I just wanted to check in and tell you that we've got the clear to hand over the documents.
It's weird hearing her now.
Madam Wright told us that we should forward the floor plans to you.
Already? How did they go through the process so fast? Surely there's so many red tapes and even to acquire the forms and the transferring it of rights. No matter how rich the rights are, it shouldn't be this to it, right?
So, if I can just have your email, I'll be sending them your way.
I'd actually like a physical copy of the floor plans.
Now she's serious.
Oh, I suppose that's fine. I'm not at the office right now, but I can inform Miss Santos of your request.
I'll make sure to drop by the office after lunch if that's fine.
Not a problem. Right. Well, cheers.
Right. Cheers.
I don't know, I just don't. Is there some sort of deeper miscommunication when we last met? These things take time. It's been, what, a day? Yes, than that, even. There isn't even a point in trying to make sense of these people who seem to be larger than life. Well, further news. I'm going to end it there. This has been a wild adventure. I am sad that my dear boy Satory is no longer a playable character now. And I am hoping that my little stumble didn't tear him off. Now the dame hasn't told me he's dead, so therefore he isn't dead, in my mind. That makes sense, and of course it does. So, further news, I hope you had fun. Interested in playing with Marianne, who is a D&D player, which is pretty neat, pretty cool. I appreciate that. But further ado, I hope you had fun. And I will see you shortly with another Yetta to see where Marianne's story may take her and whether or not the spirit shivers her way to her. Indeed. Farewell.